Hello, my friends. So I'm assuming because you clicked on this video, you're wanting to find out how to look like you're on steroids as a natural. And honestly, being accused of being on steroids is like the best compliment in the gym. And I can tell you that I've received those accusations before in the past myself. And so in this video, I'm going to kind of break down exactly how you can look like you're on steroids as a natural. I used to be 215 pounds at my heaviest. Currently, I'm sitting at 175 pounds. I've been slowly bulking my way up uh, to increase muscle mass and strength. So in this video, I'm going to kind of give you guys the exact kind of blueprint and tips to also achieve this look where you look like you're enhanced when you aren't. So the main principle you have to understand is as a natural, you cannot train like an enhanced lifter. So enhanced lifters tend to be able to pretty much beat their body down every single day and not have many detrimental effects from it. Because their testosterone levels are so high and their muscle recovery is so high, they can push themselves to a much higher degree than a natural can. So the key is to actually train smarter, not harder as a natural lifter. So I don't want to waste your guys' time. I know your time is valuable. So let's get straight into the video. All right, so tip number one. So tip number one is to build a wide V-taper physique. So you want to have the wide delts and the big lats and a big chest. And these are the features that really make you look bigger and more enhanced. And how do you accomplish this? So the way you accomplish this is you make sure that you are doing lateral raises. Lateral raises are going to give you that wide delt appearance. And you want to do overhead press because overhead press kind of gives you more of that capped look. You also want to do some rear deltoid work by doing seated face pulls. And you also want to make sure that you're doing incline chest presses. Any variation, you can use a machine, you can use a barbell, you can use dumbbells. So just make sure that you are incorporating that into your workouts and put extra emphasis on those muscles because having those wide lats, having that wide V taper, big shoulders that are capped is going to give you the illusion of being enhanced when you actually aren't. And so that's one of my first suggestions to you guys. Make sure that you're implementing those exercises into your workout, and you will get one step closer to achieving that steroid look. All right, so tip number two. So, tip number two is to make sure that you are staying lean. So, one of the key hallmarks of people that are on steroids is they tend to be able to stay lean year round. And if you can accomplish that, you're going to give the illusion of being on steroids to others. And it is difficult. It takes a lot of dedication and consistency in order to pull this off. But make sure that you have your diet on point and you're staying within the, I'd say, 12 to 15% body fat range. Obviously, 15% body fat is the most ideal. It's the most easiest for you to be able to maintain year round, especially as a natural. So make sure that you're staying lean. Because when you stay lean, you give the illusion of looking bigger than you really are, which I know is kind of like a contradiction. Because when you think about it, when you're lean, you're actually smaller than you typically are. You have less mass on you. But because, your veins are popping out and the striations in your muscles are more visible, you're going to look a lot bigger and more enhanced than if you were more bulkier. So doing this is going to make you look like you are enhanced when you actually aren't. People are going to be wondering how you're able to stay so lean and still look absolutely jacked. So tip number three is to focus on muscle density and thickness. So, what I mean by this is you want to focus on doing movements like compound movements, for example, deadlifts, squats, bench press, and using heavy weights. And what happens when you use really heavy weights like that and you're doing lower rep ranges is you build more density in your muscle. And you want to build that thickness because that thickness is what's going to give you that look of just being bigger and more enhanced than you really are. And I feel like a lot of people don't really push themselves to their limits when it comes to deadlifts and squats because they are very difficult. And I understand that they are very fatiguing, especially as a natural. But make sure that you are pushing yourself and really testing the limits of your natural strength. Because as you do that, you'll start building more density in your muscles. And that density is going to make you look way bigger than you really are. And also, it just, man, just crushing it with a heavy deadlift and having everyone look over at you like, what is this guy on? Is the best feeling ever. Because when you crush that PR and you have that strength to back yourself up, man, it just hypes you up and makes you want to continue to push yourself even further. It's like a cycle. So trust me on this. Start focusing on doing heavy deadlifts, heavy squats, heavy bench presses, and you'll start noticing that people will start thinking that you're enhanced just from your strength levels alone. So that is my tip to you guys. Stick to it and get in that gym. Okay, so tip number 4. So tip number 4 is a pretty obvious one. And I actually made a video, if you look into my last video that I posted, that goes way more in depth with this material. But you want to maximize your testosterone levels naturally. And the way you do this is you make sure that you cut out plastics from your diet because plastics are in everything and they leach into your food. So you want to switch to ceramic, glass, just remove any plastic Tupperware from your kitchen because it has a detrimental effect on your testosterone levels. Make sure that you're not overtraining because that's going to make your testosterone levels drop significantly and your cortisol levels will go exponentially high. So make sure that you're giving your body rest in between. Start incorporating things like the sauna. The sauna has been known to boost growth hormone and testosterone levels. 15 to 20 minutes 3 times a week is ideal. It'll also help you with enhancing your sleep. Sleep is another important one. Make sure that you're getting 8 hours of sleep a day. That'll help your hormone levels tremendously. Make sure that you're not completely cutting out fats because fats are very responsible for being able to synthesize hormones in your body. So you want to make sure that you're still getting at least a little bit of fat in your diet. Natural fats that are healthy. Olive oil, for example, is a good example of this. Avocados, just healthy fats. And that will help you to maximize your testosterone. And like I said, click on the video link and I will go into more details in the other video about how to boost your testosterone levels naturally. Okay, so tip number 5. So first of all, thank you guys for sticking around this far into the video. I really hope that you're finding this video helpful. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. It means a lot to me and it really helps me to keep these videos going. So let's get into tip number 5. If you remember earlier in my video, tip number 2, I said to try to maintain leanness year round because that'll make you look like you're enhanced when you're not. Well, what you do is you can also do a lean bulk, which is kind of what I'm doing right now. So, lean bulking will also make your muscles look more fuller and bigger, but there's a fine balancing act, especially for a natural. You don't want to go too overboard to where your muscles look hidden under fat. You want them to look fuller but without too much excess body fat covering them. And this is kind of that range that I was talking about where you want to stay between 12 and 15% body fat. So if you're at 12% or lower, try to slowly do what's called a lean bulk. And how do you do a lean bulk? So it's simple. You don't go overboard. You don't, start eating pizzas every day. What you want to do is you want to figure out what your maintenance calorie level is, which is the amount of calories that you need just to stay at the weight that you're currently at. And what you want to do is you want to increase your calories only by 200 to 400 calories more than what your maintenance calories are a day. You don't want to go overboard. So you don't want to start, like I said, start eating pizza and stuff because that's going to make you go way over that. And with that, you're only going to mainly make fat gains rather than muscle gains, especially as a natural. So you want to find that sweet spot, which is usually about 200 calories. And you also don't want to cut out cardio because that's another misinterpretation that a lot of people have is that, oh, well, now that I'm bulking, I should cut out cardio. No, make sure that you're still getting at least 5,000 to 10,000 steps a day. Because what that's going to do is your muscles will start looking fuller because you're eating more carbs, you're getting the right amount of calories, which is going to make you look even bigger and more enhanced. And on top of that, you still doing that cardio, the 5,000, 10,000 steps a day, is going to help your body to continue to burn fat and maximize muscle gain and that muscle fullness. And that is a sweet spot that you're trying to reach. Because if you do that, you're going to look 2 times bigger. You're still going to look lean and vascular. Your abs will probably still be showing because you're still, within that sweet spot of 12 to 15% body fat. And your strength will go up, your energy levels will go up. You'll feel a lot better, trust me, because I'm currently doing that right now myself. And I feel so much better. My strength has went up and I highly recommend that you guys do the same. So stay between that 10 to 15% body fat, and you're going to look absolutely jacked. So, as promised, because you guys stuck around till the very end, I'm going to give you that secret tip that I was talking about. So, the secret tip that I recommend you guys to try out is to start taking Tongkat Ali. Tongkat Ali is a supplement that you can get. You can get it off Amazon. There's a whole bunch of different places you can get it from. I can always put the link in my description for the specific brand that I use for my Tongkat Ali. But what this is it's kind of like a herb that has been shown. There's some early research showing that it does enhance your testosterone levels slightly. It's not going to be like a huge difference. It'll increase it probably by maybe 100 nanograms. But that difference, I feel like, has made a big difference in my physique, my energy levels, my muscle mass. I feel like I'm able to push myself much harder in the gym since I've been taking that supplement. And, it could be a placebo. So I do want to put that out there that it could very much be a placebo. But I don't know, man. I feel like I'm crushing it in the gym lately. I've been really pushing myself. I've been PRing. So I think there is something to it. And I've been taking it myself and I want you guys to give it a shot. And I don't get anything from you guys taking that supplement. So, until I'm being honest with you guys. And there's nothing that I'm going to recommend in my channel that I don't do myself. So I really highly recommend that you guys try this supplement out and let me know in the comments below if you notice a difference. Or if you've already been taking it, let me know if you've noticed a difference from it. So I really hope that that helps you guys out. This video was kind of inspired by Jeff Nippard's video that he recently had released, talking about how to look like you're on steroids when you're not. And so I kind of wanted to give my take on it because, like I said, I've gotten a lot of people complimenting me in that way by saying, "Oh, well, you look like you're enhanced. Like, what are you on, bro?" And I'm not on anything. I am completely natural. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. Please like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, it really means a lot to me. I am a new channel. I'm trying to get my name out there, and I really have a passion for fitness and self improvement and just making everyone the best version of themselves. And you guys supporting me will help me to achieve my vision of helping as many people as possible. So, thank you guys for watching. This is Solstice signing out.